Radio on X. Follow at my idiot savant. Only on Grok Radio.
Welcome in, everyone, to a fantastic Tuesday that it is for Grok, the Grok Project community. Lots going on, lots happening over the past couple of days, weeks, and hours. So we wanted to make sure we popped open a space to pay proper tribute to everything that's going on in the world of Grok. We know that this is going to be a massive couple of days, weeks, months ahead for Grok. It is long overdue. A lot is happening, a lot to catch up on. If you missed the sort of, the major things that have happened over the past couple of hours, right? That little emoji, that dart emoji is now my favorite emoji of all time. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. What we need right now is for everyone to do is to click that purple pill in the bottom right hand section of the spaces. We've got 7 reposts, but 100 people in the room. So let's make sure we get those numbers up, equivalent to where it should be. We normally get about 50 to 60%. Let's see 50 to 60 reposts. If you've reposted, let's get a quote repost. Let's get whatever, tag someone, tag Elon. I mean, why not at this stage, right? Tag any of your favorite influencers, key opinion leaders, etc. We're going to get things started in a little bit. We just want to give people the opportunity to sort of get in. It's a transitory time in certain parts of Asia. People are getting their kids to school, getting their kids to camp, whatever. East Coast, U.S. dinner time, etc. So we want to give people time to get in. So if you can, just make sure you get your reposts in, and we're going to get started in a minute. But let's get things kicked off. All right, everyone. All right. We're going to get things started soon. Again, please, if you're just joining, make sure to repost the room. Super important that we get as many folks in here as possible. We got a lot to cover. We're going to get started. I just wanted to play one final song, one final tune for the folks here that don't understand who we are. We are Grok Project. We are Grok Community. We are a decentralized meme token on the Ethereum blockchain. We've been pushing the narrative of Grok for the past 7 or 8 months. AI on the side of humanity, and we got a lot of people in this community. Have a lot of great talents, and one of our community members, his name's unknown, but he's not unknown to us. Who we've done some great charity work with in the past, created a banger of a song called Grok is Contagious. I mean, it's radio quality, and I think it speaks to what Grok AI is. It's contagious. It's fun. It's something that it supports what we believe in, and then also what Grok Project Community is, right? Like we are on, we're contagious. This really is everywhere. Everybody loves it, and we're going to make sure that we spread that through whichever mediums we can. So here's Grok is Contagious. Hope you guys enjoy. Other chats, you're weak, you're not a man, you're a child. Okay, Pop, let me rub it on your face. Rock looks good on you. We are here for you. Stop. We got the best job. We've been going straight into the moon. Listen to the tune. Yeah, rise like the phoenix. Smash it like the tennis. And I love the child. We think rock is contagious. Rock it, pump it, rock it. We're moving in the fast lane. Ooh, rock is contagious. Nah, nah, nah. Love is contagious. Nah, nah, nah. Rock is contagious. Nah, nah, nah. Rock is contagious, nah, 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 nah. G-R-O-K, yeah, we okay. Feel bad, show your back, low key. G-R-O-K, yo, we okay. Yo, G-R-O-K, check out, we okay. Rock is contagious, nah, nah, nah. Love is contagious, nah, nah, nah. Rock is contagious, nah, nah, nah. Rock is contagious, nah, 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 nah. Grok is certainly contagious. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Great. Appreciate all the work of everybody in this community who've been doing what they can to push the narrative of Grok. We're going to get into the biggest part of this spaces in about a minute or two or so. But we know that where we are. That we're at a very critical period in the macro market. I mean, there's a lot of movement that's going on BTC and ETH. Obviously, we have the Ethereum ETF has been approved. The listing should be coming in the next couple of days. A lot of people have been speculating that the meme coin summer is coming. A lot of great things going on in the macro markets, and obviously we're going to do what we can despite whatever conditions. And today sort of proves some of that as well. Welcome in, everyone. This is a official spaces hosted by the Grok Project Community. We are a community of meme enthusiasts, not affiliated or associated with Elon Musk, XAI, Grok AI, Tesla, or any subsidiaries. We came together back 7-8 months ago to memify this narrative between what OpenAI and ChatGPT had sort of been working on in the realm of AI with Elon's support years ago, right? Elon was initially working with OpenAI and ChatGPT in order to advance, an open source AI and AI on the side of humanity. As many of you know, Elon started to see that these guys wanted to go closed source. They were initially nonprofit, they went for profit, and it was the antithesis of everything that he stood for. So he stepped away. He stepped away and decided that he was going to go down a path of, obviously trying to acquire a platform like X to, make it sort of the everything app, and then also create his own privately held company called XAI to eventually launch his own AI product, Grok. So the minute that he introduced Grok to the world, he introduces it to the world, and it's immediately funny and memeable. Why? He introduces Grok to the world by showing you that his AI can give you the recipe for certain illicit substances, right? And so that immediately made it funny. It immediately made it applicable in this space. Like it would be something that we could create images off of, that kind of stuff. The people who understood the fact that Elon Musk, one of the greatest inventors, creators, innovators, thinkers of our time, is now creating his own artificial intelligence product that he launched to the world to rival ChatGPT, to be on the side of humanity. It's not backed by the globalists. It's not backed by the people who want to see sort of a political agenda forced onto society and into our kids and into our schools and just around the world. But rather, it's something that should be fair and balanced. If AI is supposed to understand us better than we understand ourselves, then we want transparency, in its source code. We want to know where the funding is coming from. We want to know what the actual agenda is for the people who are behind this, right? And that's what XAI and Grok offer. It also offers a frick ton of humor, a lot of different modes, right? And now obviously there's a lot that's going to come in terms of its updates, in terms of Grok Unhinged mode, Grok Socrates mode, image generation. They just did a partnership with Midjourney, Grok Tesla integration, you name it. I mean, Michael Dell, the 10th richest man on the planet, obviously the founder of Dell Computers, has now agreed to do some form of building some sort of super computer factory for XAI and Grok. I mean, the amount of potential future forward and in terms of the attention economy is just limitless, right? Absolutely limitless. And so obviously, funny enough, as things have gone in the past, when macro market conditions kind of take a little bit of a pullback, Elon suspiciously, takes a break from talking about some of these things, talking about Grok, that kind of stuff. Because why? He's building in the background, doing that kind of stuff, right? And now that we're sort of reaching this interesting period of the market where things are sort of cooling down a little bit. Maybe we found a nice little local bottom on BTC and Ethereum. Things are heating up a little bit. And so then what happens today? First thing that happens, for those of you who are, depending on where you are in the world, you saw some of this stuff already, but we're going to cover it here. First thing that happens is earlier today, Elon liked Boston Grokette's post, who obviously has, this is what, her sixth like now. Everybody knows who she is. She's a really strong leader in the community. I'm going to pin that here in the main stage here so you can see that, right? So he likes this post from Boston Grokette. If you go to the likes, you can find his likes there. And, there's our Grok avatar, making fun of Mike Tyson, biting OpenAI's ChatGPT, and Mike Tyson represents Grok. And there's our Grok avatar in the little left-hand corner saying, "Who's your daddy?" Right? Great, great, nice little like. Again, it's paying homage and respect to this community to say that everybody here is doing a great job at pushing the narrative, advancing, what the sort of background and, principles of Grok are. And it's great to get those nods of approval. What we didn't foresee coming, and this is what the sort of, big, piece de la resistance is, right, is that, about an hour or two later, right, not only did Elon like a post from our Grok project account, he replied specifically to that with the bullseye emoji, right? That's why I said this is going to be my new favorite emoji. So we got that pinned up here. Guys, big stuff, right? So many people in this space oftentimes, want to say, "Oh, this has a connection, this has a connection, this has a connection." If you were just joining us, I can't even count anymore how many likes we've gotten from Elon in respect to Grok, right? I think it's like 26, 27 likes. We're averaging about, 2 to 3 a month. We're getting reposts, we're getting our memes posted, and our Grok project account has gotten a like and now a reply. So absolutely massive. Some solid volume on a very particular low volume day. So that's absolutely fantastic, again, to get that sort of recognition. Guys, these are sort of nods of approval. You got to take these as the motivation to keep going. No meme project in the history of meme projects have gotten this much interaction from Elon Musk ever. That includes Doge. They have not gotten this many posts, likes, etc. This is absolutely massive, especially, over the course of 8 months, not, 5 or 6 years, right? And this is no knock towards any other community. It's just to say, when the most richest man on the planet, when the most followed man and interacted man with on X, when the person who's literally launching reusable rockets into space is taking note of, your efforts, right? Whether it's the meme creation, whether it's the animations, whether it's just the engagement for the name of Grok, we aren't just shilling our meme and telling people to buy our token. That's not what we do. We're trying to give people exposure to the narrative. We want to get people to converse and to discuss these topics because it's stuff that impacts humanity. And while the meme coin space can be fun, it's relatively a gamble, that kind of stuff, the purpose of having community projects is to create additional meaning behind it, right? So if you can create meaning via fun memes, that's great. If you find other additional meaning, whether it's, hosting spaces to talk about prevailing subjects, or you're doing charity, or, you're encouraging people to do certain things, well, at least you're spending your time well while waiting and pushing to move the token, right? And, that's the one thing that I respect and appreciate so much about the Grok community is that we understand that meme tokens by their nature do not have utility, right? Like once you have utility, it's a utility token. This is a meme, it's a community project. So we understand that the only way to have community is to have unity, right? Is to have community, right? So we are unified behind a message, and our message is very clear. The greatest part about Grok is that a day like today offers the opportunity where we do not have to explain to people why this is such a strong project to get behind, why having some exposure isn't the worst thing. You don't have to sit here and make up stuff and pretend that this is getting the recognition from certain people when it's not, right? This is actually getting direct, thumbs up, enjoying the content, using the content, and that's what this is about. This particular sector of the world, in DeFi, in the meme token space, is really about, again, we talked about this so many times, it's about the attention economy. And again, when a person like Elon and other people are following and watching and engaging, eventually things will take off. Guys, by the way, all this is happening before any updates have been released to Grok. They have pushed some things to test it to the platform. So we saw
Grok Unhinged mode very briefly, then they removed it. We saw a Grok Analysis button very briefly, then they removed it. But that's because they're just testing. And there's other things that are coming that we know, we're in the range of when Elon said those updates were going to come. Now, we can't rely 100% on those particular timelines, but what we can say is we're ballparking it and we're in a strong and comfortable range. So all of this is happening, channeling, creating strong layers of support. We're pushing the narrative out there as strong as we can. All of this is happening before any of the major updates have come to Grok. When you have a product, if you have a company, right, and they just raised $6 billion, by the way, XAI just raised $6 billion, okay? They're building and they're going to market the heck out of this. But you don't market 100% your beta product. Your beta product is just there to get people interested in that initial baseline layer of support. And guess who owns the majority of that support? It's the Grok project community. We have been the biggest users. We have been the biggest marketers. We have been the biggest supporters of Grok. And if you think for a second that every single developer at XAI and those investors who just gave XAI $6 billion does not recognize that, you're a fool. We can't explain any further how strong of a narrative that Grok is, how relatable that this particular token is, and how repeatable the goodness of the purity of this project has. It's something to be proud of. A win for Grok, as we've said from the beginning, is a win for the space, right? And that is the thing that I love the most. I am proud as ever to be a part of this community, to tell family and friends in the real world about Grok token. And the reason why is because I don't have to worry about explaining false narratives about, unsafe contracts and unsafe protocols and that kind of stuff, right? We've done this right from the beginning. I've never seen a leadership group in a particular token, not do the dirty things, right? Like most of the core community leads have been here since November. We haven't LARPed anything. We haven't launched anything. We never would. We're not going to farm our engagements, our communities, none of that stuff. And that's the thing that's been so inspiring as well, is to see that people have not veered. They are all in here. Now, we can't expect that, but if it's there, man, that's great, And I think everyone sees the long-term vision of Grok, that this is something that can take off at any minute, right? Ages ago when we first launched, we had some representation on the Rand Nooner show. And I'll never forget when somebody was talking about TA, we were 3 weeks old, and one of our community leads at the time said, you can't do transactional analysis on a token that Elon Musk is actively engaging with and showing support to, right? Because that layer of support, it. Any project that you're a part of, even if your token's name was Left Foot Inu and Elon said, I made a left turn, they would LARP, oh my God, Elon supports us, right? We don't have to do that. We don't have to stretch the truth. We don't have to do any of that, right? This is pure facts. Everything is there. If you go into our Telegram group, we have a nice summary of all the posts that have been liked, commented on, replied to, etc. I was looking through that today and I was like, wow, this is actually incredible. But what's more incredible that people don't often, pay homage to and highlight is that it's not just Elon. You scroll through the people who have liked and reposted and quote reposted some of that stuff. It is very big accounts, 800,000, 2 million followers, 3 million followers, right? And again, what happens? We start to get recognition from major publications, the Benzingas, the Yahoo Finances, the StockTwits, different financial Investopedia, that kind of stuff. They start covering Grok and our token, and they're creating the direct connection and linkage. And we don't have to do that. The media is out there doing that. It's absolutely fantastic. And the minute that this thing really starts to kick off, again, what's going to happen? They're going to be right back to publishing those things. They're quoting directly people from this community in respect to where Grok can go. They're citing community members to say, one person on X said this. Why are they citing us, guys? It's because so many of you have massive, massive amounts of engagement, even though you don't hold 5,000, 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers. There are people in our community who have 300-400 followers, and they're getting 10,000, 40,000, 50,000 views on posts. It's because our content is that good. And so the publications and the media are out here, looking at us as the thought leaders in this particular thing. Now, amazingly, again, what happens when we're here covering Grok? We're here covering, AI and what's happening in the world, and we're covering new regulations that are being passed and things like that, right? Now people start saying,
this space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
These guys actually know more beyond just the fact that they're memifying the hell out of this, right? And what do they start to do? We've seen before people use our avatar to talk about Elon's Grok AI, right? We've seen them use our material to talk about Grok. And it's because we are basically synonymous to the public. If you search Grok on X, you're going to find a ton of stuff on us. At one stage, and forgive me, I haven't checked this in a little bit, if you search Grok on Google, there were some predetermined filters. You know how like you could see like news, images, videos? There was one that just straight up said crypto, right? We had a preset filter on Google for us because so much of the searches are based on us, on Grok Project. But again, we will never conflate the two. We understand we are two separate things. We are not trying to cause any confusion, etc., so on and so forth. People will do that, whatever. That's fine. Elon is more than welcome. NextAI is more than welcome to use any avatar or image that this community creates for the purposes of whatever they want. And that's why we did this. This is for the public. This is for the purpose of creating a fun atmosphere in order to advance something that directly supports humanity, that supports decentralization, that supports the transparency of both of those things. And we will do whatever we can as a community to make sure that that message gets advanced. So, I just wanted to, pop things open for everyone so that we could come together again as a community on a special day. This was an entirely big day. It's not anything to say we're going to hang our hat here. The job's not finished. There's so much more to come. We're going to do what we've always done, act like we've been there before. We're going to keep grinding like we're a 100K market cap project trying to become a 200K market cap project. That is what has allowed us to get to where we want to go. And ultimately, everybody here in this community understands this is a whole all hands on deck sort of effort, right? So when time comes and when it's needed and when it's necessary, everybody will gas the jets. We've done it before. We've burned from both ends, 21-hour days, right? Sleepless nights, etc. We've done it, 24/7 voice chats in the Telegram group, multiple X spaces throughout the day, inviting key opinion leaders, not just in the world of crypto, but also in the world of artificial intelligence and just influential people into spaces to be able to talk about some of these subjects that are, very imperative for Grok and what this stands for. And that's one of the great things about Grok is that because the messaging stands for so much more than just, transparent AI, right? Again, we're talking about civilization. We're talking about humanity. We're talking about freedom. We're talking about financial freedom, right? Because it stands for all of those things, that gives us the opportunity to cover so many subject areas. We don't have to limit ourselves to just, one particular thing where we're just sitting here saying, oh, it's going to moon. Oh, Elon's going to push us. Da, 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 da. We're not even 100% reliant on him, right? We were able to hit really good numbers a couple of weeks ago. And, that was just from the sheer fact of momentum alone. And now community members are organizing, trying to figure out ways to establish additional streams of revenue from marketing and that kind of stuff, in terms of like raising that kind of stuff. So, it's amazing to see people sort of throw their name and their hands in the hat to try to make something, out of nothing and to make, Grok bigger and as big as it deserves to be. We've said from the beginning, one of the key themes has been divine timing, right? Everything happens for Grok the way it's supposed to happen for Grok, right? We are future-proofing ourselves, right? Regardless of what happens in the space, we are future-proofing our, ability to be sustainable, over the next couple of months and years. Everybody's going to be taking their profits and all that other good stuff. And, once the, top of the bull market comes and that kind of stuff. But, beyond that, Grok is one of those tokens that will exist beyond the bull run. Grok is one of those tokens that will have momentum beyond the bull run. That makes me feel strong. That makes me feel good that no matter what happens here, we will leave this in a very good space. And I will, everyone should keep the exposure to Grok because it has that ability. It can do more. We saw what Floki did and is doing right now, right? Last cycle, Floki ran up to 4 billion in a bear market, right? After BTC crash, people forget that. They keep lumping Doge, Shiba, and the rest of these tokens together, but everyone forgets Floki ran in after the BTC crash. Amazing. Because why? The narrative was that strong. The community was that strong. And they were able to hit 4 or 5 billion. And they did that with haste. It was like in a day from like 80 million to 4 billion, right? And so, boom, bear market's here though. Retraces, all sorts of stuff happens. And now what's the deal? Well, Floki's over 1 billion again. Floki's getting closer to all-time high. It has that ability to have life beyond the cycle in which it was born. And that to me feels good because, a lot of these things, there's tokens last cycle that hit 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. They will not be coming back. Some of them don't even have liquidity anymore, right? But Grok's liquidity is 100% burned, meaning it can never be rugged, right? The contract is fully renounced, 0% buy tax, 0% del tax. So that it's fully decentralized. It can take on a life and meaning of its own. There's so many things to be bullish on for Grok. There are so many things to sort of say, I have this to look forward to. There are so many things that we don't know about, right? That we don't know about that can be bullish, right? What are the known, we can know things that are unknown, right? We know that Grok will be integrated into Teslas, right? We know that, but we don't know when that's going to happen. Now, what we don't know is what avatar will be used as a voice assistant for Teslas, right? And we don't know when that's going to come. But that also can excite you, right? And that's the thing that makes this space so exciting and exhilarating is it's of course the things that you know about, but it's also the things that you can sort of speculate on to say, man, there's so much applicability here. And then what do you do? What do we do great as a community? We come together to sort of push that idea out there. Because as we know, people like Elon and big thinkers, they love to source ideas from others. And of course, they'll add their spin on it. But we can actually help inform the future and create the future based on our ability to storytell, our ability to create a future state thinking of mind, create a roadmap of what that might look like. We've seen Elon himself reply to people and say, hey, that's a good idea. And then boom, what happens? A couple weeks later, he implements something on X. Do not think that you do not have impact. Do not think that you don't have the capability to sway people's minds, to sway people's hearts, to sway people's visions, right? You are capable. We are capable, and we've proved it over the course of the past few months, right? And we're going to continue to do that. And when we get affirmations like this today, you use that to energize you, to invigorate you, to say, let me keep going. Let me keep churning the wheels. Let me keep creating more. And eventually, we will get our just desserts. My only hope is the people who have been grinding, the people who believe in this the most, the people who really want to see Grok do well, have the patience and the conviction to hodl, right? And to make something out of your efforts. One of our community members, Akta, she always says, don't leave the story before it's finished, right? You don't want to be in a position where you've been around, you've seen so much of this happen. You've helped inform and create a beautiful, unified structure and community, and you're not here to see where this thing goes, right? I hope that so many of us are here to reap the benefits of the efforts that we've contributed, right? And literally every day when I wake up, the first thing I do, check X, go check the posts, go check the tags, that kind of stuff. Go into the Telegram group, see what's going on. I check my news sources, see if anything new was released in the world of AI that's relevant. Check to see what spaces are going. Anyone talking about Grok? Anyone talking about ChatGPT? Anyone talking about any AI products, etc. I engage with normies all the time, even if it's not to talk about crypto, just to respond to their content and try to give something a little bit more meaningful and mindful. Eventually, people will get converted into this space. The thing that I always talk about is if we're going to have adoption, Who do you want to be the people that are onboarding your brothers and sisters, your uncles and aunts, your mothers and fathers, grandfathers, etc.? Do you want it to be, these banks and, these other financial institutions going to tell your people to convert their 401ks and their retirement savings plans into ETFs, right? Do you want it to be them? Do you want it to be these dirty founders of these particular, cabal insider cartel coins who are going to be taking biometric data from your family members to give you $60 worth of tokens, right? Do you want it to be them? Do you want it to be scammer devs who are flashing money on X or on Instagram and they're saying join my private group, my Discord, in order to get ahead, right? Or do you want to be the person who helps educate people to understand what a good project looks like, what good crypto looks like, what a good community looks like, and to help make this space better? We need to self-regulate before the SEC comes in here. We need to self-regulate before FINRA and the rest of these regulators start to get involved in DeFi, right? And so because of that, I feel good about tokens like Grok that I feel proud of, right? That I feel like can represent this space in a great way and that a lot of people can get behind. So remember that as we go on, to have recognition from big people like Elon Musk, right? That is huge. You know how many people saw that weren't just crypto people, right? When he replies to something normally, it'll get 10,000, 12,000 views, 20,000 views. Go look at his reply to Grok Project. He actually ratioed our Grok Project post. That reply has 327,000 views. Our reply to him before that has 247,000 views. It's because other billionaires and other investors and CEOs and thought leaders saw him reply to a parody account that has a meme token inspired by his Grok AI. Just think about how many people had exposure to that today. Just think about how many influential people are watching. We know these people right now, there's a lot of people fluctuating into the space that are buying meme coins, that are looking at these things. And so to have that exposure, it goes beyond just one man. Even though that one man may be the most influential person ever in the world, the most, craziest and greatest innovator of our modern era, and the most influential crypto person on the planet, right? It's still, who else that touches. So absolutely amazing. I wanted to sort of rest there because, again, this space was targeted specifically to the two major pieces of news that happened today. We recognize there's a lot of people who are getting exposure to Grok for the first time. So we wanted to talk about the origins of Grok, how we're sort of supporting the cause of Grok AI without having that sort of direct connection. Elon's support in terms of likes and comments and replies and reposts of our community. And of course, today his bullseye reply to the Grok Project account. So that being said, I would love to welcome up anyone, that's here as a listener. Definitely raise your hand, request to come up. It's always good to hear from people, whether you've been around for a bit, whether you're new, whether you have no clue what's going on, whether you want to ask a question about Grok AI, about the world, feel free to raise your hand. It's always good to hear from the folks in the room. This is a recorded spaces, by the way, so just wanted to keep that in mind for everyone. If anyone that is missing the space, they'll be able to play back the recording. I think some great content we've covered here today, but I did want to just give everyone that opportunity to raise said hands, and we'll be good to go. Yeah. One other thing, I'm not sure if a lot of folks here know this as well. About 10 days ago or so, we had the great opportunity to speak with the Binance CEO on Spaces, and we talked about Grok. And I sent him a message afterwards. I was like, "Fuck it, might as well." During that Spaces, and I pinned that here in the chat. During that Spaces, he was just, I was asking him about AI, if he has any plans on using Grok, that kind of stuff. And he just straight up said, like, hey, you actually might know about this more than I do, so it'd be good to talk to someone like you. Like, they know about Grok token. You know what I mean? They know about Grok token. Vitalik Buterin knows about Grok token. Every major exchange on the planet, anyone who's influential in crypto, if they pretend they don't know about Grok token, they're lying to you. You cannot be in this space and not know what could be the single greatest narrative ever in meme token history, right? So if the Binance CEO is like acknowledging that, who else knows about this, right? The time will come. The time will come, right, where the volume is just nuts through the roof. We had $60 million of decentralized volume in our first couple of weeks, where we were averaging $60 million decentralized volume daily. Okay? That was during a time when there was no volume in the space, where there was nothing doing anything. Grok has the capability to reclaim that, to recapture that, right? The time will come. What we've done in the interim of basically a dead period for 7 months, I am so impressed by this community. I'm so impressed by everyone here. Literally every single day it inspires me because, we haven't needed to LARP or to make anything up. And, we're able to do these things in the downtimes, but the times will come again. In the month of November alone, Elon mentioned Grok 50 times, okay? 50 times he mentioned Grok in the month of November. He dropped memes in the month of December, etc. All of those things will necessitate, if you're someone who has a position in crypto, whether it's like an exchange or whatever else, to pay attention, to get involved, and to not miss the opportunity to say you had something to do with that community's success. I've seen tokens in this space without this, support of the major names that everyone's used to on every project do well. In recent memory, there was Pepe Coin, not Pepe, the one that's at 5 billion, but there was another, um, you know, uh, um, there was another Pepe Coin that hit like a billion market cap without that. Um, I'm sad. Look, I was gonna just about to shout out HCX and they dropped off. But definitely wanted to shout out HCX for for jumping in and for supporting the spaces. There's a lot of great names in here. I wanted to shout out everyone here. There's not enough time. Everybody knows who they are. The CCTV and the rest and the like that have just been crushing it. Good to see a lot of familiar names. Dogus Jefferson, man. Absolute Chad, who's supported from day one. Nothing but good things to say. I mean, all the names here: Crypto Dad, Anna, KJK. Like, it's insane to see this many blue checks as well. You don't see this normally. You don't go into a space and see this many blue checks, on the people in the spaces. So that to me is, super bullish to see that. You're not going to find that everywhere. What does that mean? That means that the engagement of this community is going to be 10x higher. It means our visibility is going to be 10x higher. And ultimately that means more people are going to come into the space. So, shout out to everyone for all the work that they've done, continue to do, right? This title of this space is The Grok Father Says We're on Target, right? Now, it's a play on words, play on emojis, because he used the bullseye, right? He used the bullseye. So the fact that he used that bullseye, to me, Elon's a guy who likes to speak in, sort of a fun type of way. And so maybe that was sort of a signal, to say, hey, guys, bullseye, you're killing it. So that's the message here today, guys. We have the confirmation from the Grok Father himself, Mr. Elon Musk, that we are on target, right? Short, nice, unplanned spaces. We have an absolute Chad debt and a half. I mean, she's got to come get her flowers. I mean, Boston got Grokette's got to come get her flowers. I mean, 6 likes now. You're averaging one per month now. You're averaging one per month.
Hey, everyone. No one ever wants to go after Nuke, but I just wanted to jump on and just say thanks to the community. Everyone's been grinding like every day. I'm a insomniac, so I'm up like all hours of the night. There's no time, I don't jump into the TG and see familiar faces, so it's pretty awesome to see. I personally have never owned a meme, never bought a meme token ever. before Grok, and saw it earlier in November, got involved in the community, and just honestly fell in love with it, and just got involved in the culture, and just think it's so much fun. Met so many cool people through this project. And honestly, thanks everybody just for supporting even my personal account and liking and boosting. We're getting Elon's attention. I think, as Nuke said, our job is kind of just to be the marketing arm for Grok. And I think we're doing an amazing job at that. And what I personally do is just kind of watch the space and try to get a pulse on what's going on and just get those memes ready ahead of time. So, when the opportunity comes up, you just strike when the iron's hot, and it's been a recipe for success. So I just wanted to say hello to everybody and just say thanks. It's been awesome.
I don't know why you always sell yourself short. I always think you are an incredible speaker, BG. I mean, you are talented beyond means, and folks like yourself and Hannah have done such a great job. The thinking ahead piece that you just highlighted, like that, this community does that better than any. I don't want to do comparative things, but this community does a really great job at thinking ahead of like what's to come, right? So now we see Elon is really upset at Blue Origin. They're trying to sue him, and that's why he tweeted today, "Sue Origin," right? Because they're just trying to sue him to basically get rid of competition. So that's interesting. HTX just rejoined. Shout out to HTX. I can't speak enough, about the posts on X, about the support with the spaces we've done in the past, all sorts of stuff. It's very easy for an exchange to just list a token, and then just disappear. And you can't fault them if that's the case, if that's what they do. But the fact that they're supporting, so much more beyond than anything that we can imagine. They see we're a community-driven project. They see that we're working hard every day. We're engaging with posts and that kind of stuff. So just shout out to HTX for all of the support that they've given us from the beginning, and I can't thank them enough. Really great leadership there. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say, guys. At this stage, I think it was just super important that we did this. We came together, try to get as many people in the same room as possible, try to get it at a time where we can get most of the world. It's a great way to start off the second part of the day for the other side of the world. I know Australia and Asia is going to pick things up and really push things hard today. We're going to be grinding. We know it's crypto. It's 24/7. I'm going to be here. I'm going to jump into the voice chat in the Telegram group again tonight. We'll be on the lookout. We'll be raiding hard. If Elon does anything else, we're going to jump on. We're going to do it, right? But again, just wanted to give one last call to anyone here in the room that just wanted to jump up. It's always good to hear from other people, new, old, whatever it is. Like, it's always good to hear from people. So if anyone wants to request, they're welcome to come up. Otherwise, we'll close things out. In about 20 seconds or so. Well, BG, you're on stage, so I don't know if you wanted to say any final remarks before we close out, and then yeah.
Nothing really additional to what I said, but again, I just think the community's been amazing. Just keep grinding. I think we have something super special here. I have to say, like I said, I've never bought a meme token before, and sometimes I wish I hadn't bought any others, just the way things go in the space. I just think it's a super special community, and the narrative's unbelievable, and we're just getting started. I think just based on what I've seen online, it seems like the 1.5 update's right around the corner. So we have a lot of exciting things to come, and we're going to be ready for it.
Oh, and that's one good thing you just highlighted there. For those of us who are hawking, by hawking I mean like we're staring at the XAI website constantly. We're using Grok constantly. We've been seeing some changes. We see them testing things sometimes. They don't say anything, but we see some of those changes. We saw in the Grok panel a couple of days ago, they pushed the change where it's like regular mode, fun mode, Grok 1.5. So we've seen that. They removed it. We saw on the X.ai website where they have Grok Live. If you didn't know, you can go to X.ai and then get set up to use Grok on the website. We saw some changes come there. So also the people who monitor the backend code on X, they've seen a lot of changes being pushed to the source code. So guys, we know, that stuff is coming. We just don't know when, but they're active. We know we're in that range. So keep it pushing, guys. Appreciate everybody here. Throw up some hearts and some hundreds. Let people know that we are about to do some big stuff over the next couple of days. And I hope today was a great testament to everyone to know to keep working. So love you all and chat soon.